Good day, everybody. It's your boy Crispy T, signing in with another episode of The Calling of a Ravenous Bird. This is episode 4. Man, this time around, I just want to talk about staying on South Africa, and this time I'm talking about FNB. Okay, one of the big four banks in the country, and this was a dream. Strange enough. Now, to give you some context and some background on it, I will say this. This is hard to do without a personal filter, and the reason being is that I used to be a customer of FNB, and what had happened in my personal life more so was I had a job that I was working towards, and mainly it was a startup company. And yeah, at the end of it, I was supposed to get a contract once we got the incorporation going and everything. And came in 2020 and the whole coronavirus, or whatever you want to call it, that opportunity just never happened. So it's okay. I mean, it's just life. And again, the way I saw it was life working its way to clearing things that just don't serve me, because unfortunately, here the thing is, this was something that could have been done all the way in 2018, but there was always an excuse, and I guess it was just something that was just never going to happen, and that's just how I took it as, and the virus was just God stepping in, taking away things that should not be in your life, and it was okay. And that's where I saw it. And the same thing happened with me losing my bank accounts because there was just no money coming in. So yeah, all coincidentally, it all happened at the same time. And yeah, just it just happened. So this is not necessarily me speaking about the fact that I actually left the bank due to a bad experience with them, because I actually had a good experience. But here's the surprising thing. After the fact that I received a notice, and a notice saying that, okay, they're going to shut down this account, and because it's pretty much dormant, I was like, okay, fine. I did not even contest it, and I just moved on with my life. So I went and I didn't have a bank account for a while. Only up and recently I joined another bank, but because here's the thing: 3 weeks after the fact that I got that notice of termination, there was a dream that I had. Okay, now this is not me, like I said, without speaking with I don't have any proof of this, so I'm just speaking out there with a disclaimer, and I'm going to quote Psalm 10:18, which is Psalm chapter 10 verse 18. The one who conceals hatred has lying lips, and whoever utters slander is a fool. So that's just saying that I'm not out here to slander somebody without any proof. That's not my style. And especially that I'm putting it out in the public domain. But at the same time, I also need to own and what God tells me to put out there, to so people must make their own decisions, or sorry, not even all, and draw closer to Him, to get more clarity on what they need to do in their personal situations. I'm going to do as such. Okay, that's just what I'm going to do. I will speak against, I'm not worried about speaking against corruption, lies, and malfeasances. Like I said, it's just normally wrong for me to do it without proof. Only if the only being that ever tells me to do anything without any proof is God Himself. Otherwise, I would not do this. So now with that out the way, let me get into the dream. Okay. So the dream itself happened around sometime in July or August of 2020. Okay. And this was, like I was saying, I think I lost my bank account around June. It could have been May, but it's still some weeks after that. So I'll just stick to that. It was around June, July, or August. It could even be June, but yeah, but that's neither here nor there. Let's just leave that alone. In the dream itself, I had accompanied a friend, and a friend of mine who actually works at FNB in real life. Okay, so I ended up just heading over to FNB with her, and she was trying to sign me into the reception area. Now, because I was a guest, I was supposed to fill out a logbook, but for some reason, the receptionist was not forthcoming with the guest logbook. And there was more like but at the same time, she wasn't saying that I cannot come in. So I was wondering as to, okay, what's going on, because it's just delaying and delaying. They're like seem to buy time, like deciding whether I should come in or not. So what ultimately happened is that I remained in reception. My friend ended up signing herself in, or swiping herself in, because she has an access card. So while she was talking with this receptionist, I then decided to take my matters into my own hands, and I took my friend's card without her looking, because it was to her back, and let's say she had those clips on the back of her on the back of her trousers or whatever it is, and I just grabbed it and I swiped myself in, and I had my backpack funny enough, and and then I was able to sneak in because they were deep in their conversation, and I was able to sneak in, but I still kept my distance so that they did not think that I actually was already in there, that they still had this idea that I'm still waiting in the reception. So she progressed along. I kind of just kept my distance and watched what she was going to do next, so I could advance further along with her, because I kind of just felt like something was just suspicious. Something was just drawing me to know more and more and get deeper and deeper inside. I don't know why I made it my business, but anyway, you know how dreams work at times. So I just went deeper inside, and each time my friend needed to swipe in, I repeated the same thing. I just swiped her card again, swipe myself in, and put it back, and as she moved along, I moved along, but without her knowing. And that's how I continued for some time, and across a few hallways, until she got to some point where it looked quite like it was like souped up, like the security and security barriers and the vaults or something were over there. But what I noticed is that it's where the executives were meeting. It looked a little bit like, even though this is a bank, right, this is a corporate head offices, it looked a little like a science lab or something weird going on there. But anyway, the executives were there in a meeting. So as soon as my friend got there, because I was keeping my distance, the security, and I was pretty much playing spy, by the way. So the security came in, said to my friend, and told her, listen, you, I'm not going to give out my friend's name, of course. You, check this out. There's somebody who's swiping, like each time I notice that you swipe in, there's a double swipe entry at every log and at every terminal or every junction that you go through. And my friend was like wondering, how is this even possible? But yeah, so in any case, as they were explaining, they were like, look, there's an intruder, then it means there's an intruder and we need to find who this intruder is. But here's the thing, they didn't even want my friend to swipe in over there, because it was like, well, this area is off, there's access is off limits, so you cannot advance any further than that. So at that point, I just ran, but nobody caught me. I just gracefully, just as they sounded the alarm, I just gracefully made my way out and even got outside the building. And I remember was thinking to myself, wow, there's something brewing here at FNB that they don't want anybody to find out in the back. So it was all very, very hush hush. And I have some sort of info, even though I don't know exactly what it is, but there's something happening at FNB which it looks very unscrupulous. And yeah, so with that said, please, guys, just don't go running with this. Don't go running with this information. Please just take it up to God if you are a customer of FNB or any other big bank, for that matter. Just know what you need to do right now, particularly in these weird times that we're in. You know, you never know what happens because we are in desperate times, and when in desperate times, people get very desperate and they'll go very underhanded to get live back the days of their of their feasting seasons, and they just want to always keep that perpetual thing going instead of making the necessary sacrifices to bring themselves into relevance. They'll just want to live the old days, and they'll do it by any means necessary, by hook or by crook. So yeah, please take it up to the Lord in prayer, and I will leave you with this reassuring thought from Luke 12 verse 2 to 3 that says, "There is nothing concealed that will not be disclosed, or hidden that will not be made known. What you have said in the dark will be heard in the daylight, and what you have whispered in the ear in the inner rooms will be proclaimed from the roofs." So please, guys, just remember, whatever's done in the dark will come to the light. So I'm just read that again. There is nothing concealed that will not be disclosed, or hidden that will not be made known. What you have said in the dark will be heard in the daylight, and what you have whispered in the ear in the inner rooms will be proclaimed from the roofs. Cheers.